And I can remember here in mid-Ohio, 1997, I qualified in front of Bobby. And it was a huge accomplishment because mid-Ohio is Bobby's track. And I remember in the grid, Bobby coming to me and saying, Michel, just look ahead, I'll stay behind you. And I'm like, yeah, right, Bobby Rahal. And actually through the first stint, he stayed behind me. I was very competitive. The first pit stops came and Bobby, I remember, I think they were still putting fuel and Bobby came by in pit lane and he finished third. I was running very good and I think I was trying to catch Michael late in the race and I spun. But it was like my first really competitive race and it was in a Team Rahal car at Dales, you know. And since then, he was always really nice to me. And then of course the big moment came in late 2001 when we started talking about me joining the team. We got the Gigante and Office Depot Mexico sponsorship and my life changed, you know. It was joining a really big team for me for the first time in my career, but it was family.
Michel came on the scene, he was very young. I want to say he was 18 years old or so with Dale Coyne, and really struggled. Young guy, very little experience, but a very personable. Really, Michel is a guy I have a lot of time for because he's just a great personality and just a wonderful human being. And anyway, so in 2001, at the end of 2001, he was able to put together a group of companies in Mexico that would back him in IndyCar for 2002, 2003. We were able to put a deal together with Michel, and he kind of blossomed. And so we were really pleased with the performance. Of course, he led Carlos Rodriguez in Mexico City. He leads the race, and there must have been 100,000 people in the grandstands. And as he comes by to lead, the last few laps or so, I mean, the whole place went crazy because he was a national hero at that point in time.
Well, about 2003 Long Beach Grand Prix, so I knew we were going to have a good car, and everything was going perfect. Put it on pole for the first time. In the race, there was a yellow, and it was one of those like almost everybody, I guess a couple of cars do what the leaders do, and then after I think fourth behind is like do whatever the leader does, do the opposite. And everybody came into the pits, and then we needed no yellows, and a yellow came, so we had to open a huge gap. We needed to like open 40 seconds or something like that in 20 laps, and we opened it. And we were coming into the last pit stop. I think Paul came in like 2 laps before, Bruno came the lap before, and we had them by many seconds. Everything was going perfect. We had a faster pit stop than what I expected. I still had some throttle, and I tried to put it in gear, and we lost the transmission.
I almost was in tears for him. I was holding him, I had my arm around his shoulder in the pits because it was just shattered. Because he had Paul Tracy breathing down his neck the whole time and didn't put a foot wrong, and he was going to win the race. And then we had that issue leaving the pits, so I felt so bad for him. But in the end, he won a number of races for us that year. Great race in Milwaukee, cold conditions, and led literally from the start.
First practice we were second. We were setting the car up for the night. Night practice we were fastest. Next morning we were second, but in the day, because we didn't worry too much because we wanted the car to be good at night. Qualifying got drained out, and just since the start took the lead and never looked back. I think the only laps we didn't lead were there was something with the yellows or something, but Bobby there he was there that night, and being with him in the podium, and it was of course very special night.
It was just great, and so Michel, I always have a soft spot in my heart for Michel because he's just such a super young guy, and Michel was almost like a son to me in many respects. So It was an exciting time for us, 2002, 2003 with Michel, and really pleased he had so much success with us during that period of time.
Well, Bobby means so much, you know, because he gave me the big opportunity that I thought that if I ever had, I could take it. That I thought I could win races, but you know, those days were so competitive. The level of race, the teams, the drivers, it was incredible, and everything had to be good, you know. And to get that break, and the team worked really hard with me to get the sponsorship and to do good, you know. So Bobby and everybody at Team Rahal, now RLL, is people that I love. I will always love and be thankful for all the what they did to my career and always being good to my family. So they're always in my heart.